You're standing in front of it, and it doesn't make sense. The Colosseum, a scarred ring of stone towering into the sky, weathered, broken, half devoured by time, and yet still here. It shouldn't be. It was built nearly 2,000 years ago. No cranes, no steel, no electricity, just pulleys, scaffolds, and the raw strength of thousands of men. And yet somehow, it's still standing. Earthquakes shook it, fires swept through it. Stone was ripped from its walls to build churches and palaces. And still, something in its bones held firm. You've seen modern buildings collapse from a little water damage, a few cracks, one good shake. But this ancient skeleton survived the fall of Rome itself. So, how? The answer isn't just in what the Romans built, but in how they built it. The Colosseum wasn't designed to resist time. It was built to bend with it, to break but not fall. Think about that. Most structures fight time and lose, but the Colosseum accepted it. It adapted. It gave way when the earth shook, but didn't collapse. It shed pieces like armor, sacrificing stone to protect its heart. And here's the thing, what you see today is only part of the story. The arches, the massive stones, the holes pocked through its walls, they all tell a tale of survival. Every crack is a memory, every missing block, a scar, but the shape remains. Why? Because the Romans didn't build for a season, they built for centuries. And they may not have known that their empire would fall, but they built something that wouldn't. So you stand there, 2,000 years later, and ask the question you can't shake. If something this old, this battered, this impossible is still standing, what else did they know that we don't? And why does it feel like we've forgotten how to build anything that lasts? Let's go deeper. The Colosseum isn't just stone piled high. It's a machine, a masterpiece of ancient engineering, so advanced modern scientists are still trying to understand it. Start with the concrete. Roman concrete wasn't like ours. Today's concrete cracks, crumbles, and dies in decades. But Roman concrete, it heals, literally. When cracks formed inside the Colosseum's walls, something strange happened. Water seeped in, and instead of making it worse, it triggered a chemical reaction. Tiny minerals began to grow. The crack sealed itself, like skin forming a scar. Scientists didn't even fully understand this until recently. The secret? A mix of volcanic ash, lime, and seawater. A formula lost for over 1,000 years. We've tried to recreate it, and we still can't get it exactly right. But they did. They weren't just mixing materials, they were shaping the future. Now look at the design. The Colosseum is a web of arches, corridors, and corridors within corridors. It distributes weight perfectly, directing pressure away from weak points. The more you study it, the more it feels intentional, like someone knew what was coming, and maybe they did. The Romans built their empire on roads, aqueducts, and monuments that defied time. But this was different. It wasn't just functional, it was prophetic. A structure designed not just to stand, but to evolve. Even its holes tell a story. You've probably seen them. The strange gaps scattered across the Colosseum's walls. Most people think they're damaged from battle or decay, but many were left behind when the iron clamps holding the stones together were stolen in the Middle Ages. Yes, stolen. And yet the Colosseum didn't collapse. Why? Because it was designed with redundancy, multiple support systems, layers of strength. If one failed, another picked up the weight, like tendons, bones, and muscle working together. This wasn't primitive construction. This was a civilization building something to last beyond itself. And that's what makes the Colosseum so unsettling. It's not just old, it's smarter than most buildings today. So you start to wonder, were they just lucky, or did they know something we've forgotten? Now picture this. You're in ancient Rome. The year is 80 AD. The Colosseum is brand new, gleaming under the sun. 50,000 people are flooding in. Senators, slaves, merchants, emperors, all eyes on the arena. And beneath their feet, something incredible is happening. The Colosseum wasn't just stone and seats. It was alive. Below the sand-covered stage was a two-story underground labyrinth called the Hypodium, filled with elevators, pulleys, and trapdoors. With a single signal, a lion could rise from beneath the floor, or a gladiator, or a full chariot team. This was showmanship on a scale the world had never seen. They didn't just fight here. They told stories, recreated myths, staged entire naval battles. Yes, they flooded the arena with water, turned it into a miniature sea, and fought with ships. How? Historians still debate the exact method. Some believe they used aqueducts to channel water in and out, creating temporary lakes. Others think it was only possible before the underground structures were built. But one thing's clear, they tried to do the impossible, and often they succeeded. The Colosseum had a retractable roof, a massive awning called the velarium, pulled into place by sailors using ropes and masts, shielding spectators from the sun. It had numbered gates, organized seating by class, even exit systems that allowed tens of thousands to leave in just minutes. Sound familiar? Modern stadiums still use the same principles, but the Colosseum did it without computers, without motors, without electricity. So ask yourself, why did some of this technology vanish for over 1,000 years? Elevators, water management systems, crowd control design, all disappeared, lost in the dark. The Colosseum wasn't just ahead of its time, it reset what time even meant. And as you walk through its empty corridors today, one thought stays with you. Maybe we didn't invent modern stadiums. Maybe we just remembered them. By all logic, it should have fallen. The Roman Empire crumbled. Its roads faded. Its temples shattered. Even its palaces became ruins. But the Colosseum, still here. It's not whole, no. You can see where time has clawed at it, where earthquakes split its walls, where looters ripped iron from its bones, where fire and neglect tried to erase it. And yet, it stands. Why? Because the Colosseum wasn't built to fight nature. It was built to work with it. The key lies in its shape, those endless arches, curving in perfect rhythm. They weren't just beautiful, they were brilliant. Arches transfer force. Instead of crumbling under pressure, the Colosseum redirected it. Weight flowed down into the ground, not out to the sides. Earthquakes hit, and it flexed. That's what modern engineers call energy dissipation. Let the force pass through the structure, not break it apart. But there's more. The Colosseum wasn't one solid chunk. It was layered. Brick, stone, concrete, all working together like a skeleton and muscles. When one part cracked, the others held firm. And the Romans knew it would take damage. They expected it. So they built with failure in mind. They made it easy to repair, modular to rebuild, and resilient when hit. Compare that to today. Modern skyscrapers, rigid, precise, efficient, but fragile. One weak joint, one design flaw, and it all comes down. We build fast, cheap, disposable. The Romans built slow, heavy, eternal. And here's the irony. In the Middle Ages, people thought the Colosseum had magic powers, that it couldn't fall because it was sacred. But the truth is scarier. It didn't need magic. It just had better engineering. So when you see it rising out of the Roman skyline, missing half its face, riddled with holes, barely breathing, and yet alive, you're not just looking at a ruin. You're looking at a survivor. And maybe, just maybe, you're looking at something better than what we're building now. So the question isn't just, why did it last? It's, why didn't everything else? Today it's quiet. The roar is gone. No more battles, no more crowds. Just wind brushing through stone arches and the footsteps of tourists staring up in silence. But the Colosseum is still watching. It has outlived emperors, armies, revolutions, and religions. It has survived floods, fire, and centuries of decay. It stood through the birth of nations and the collapse of them. And somehow it's still standing now, while buildings made just decades ago are already falling apart. That should make you pause. Because the Colosseum isn't just a monument to the past, it's a mirror held up to the present. We build bigger now, faster. We design to impress, not to last. Glass towers that rise like giants, but age like paper. Stadiums that crumble in 30 years and get replaced. But the Colosseum, it was built to last through empires, through centuries, through us. And when you stand beneath it, really stand there, and look up at those ancient stones holding on against time, one thought echoes in the silence. Will anything we build today still be here in 2,000 years? Not just physically, but meaningfully. Will our structures speak to the people who come after us? Will they inspire wonder, awe, or reflection? Or will they vanish, forgotten, while the Colosseum remains? Because that's the truth no one likes to face. We think we're advanced, smarter, stronger, but maybe we've just stopped building things that matter. The Colosseum wasn't built with modern tools. It wasn't backed by computers or steel beams. It was built by hand, by vision, by people who knew they wouldn't live to see it grow old, but built it anyway. And now, it stands, not just as a ruin, but as a challenge to you, to think bigger, build deeper, and ask yourself, are you creating something that could outlive you? Because they did, and it's still here.